Welcome to the first video. What is trading? Do you ever wonder how people actually make money in the stock market? Have you ever wondered that as a kid? I know I did. I know I looked at these random things when I first got an iPhone and it said stocks. And I was like, what is that? I was always so curious about it. So it's not magic. It's just buying and selling at the right time. It's as simple as that, So I'm about to show you how this works, right? So trading, like I just said, is simply buying something like a stock and selling it later for profit. If you buy Apple stock, right, at 150, it's sold at 160. You just made money trading. Let me dive into this first. There is something called unrealized profit and realized profit. So unrealized, exactly what it sounds like. It is you are not selling the underlying asset yet. You are just holding it, and that is your gains because they can easily reverse or go the other way or gain more. But once you sell that underlying asset, now that is money in your pocket that you just made trading that stock. It's as simple as that. That's all trading is. Let me just show you a quick example. Personally, I'm a visual learner. So some of you are visual learners. This will help you. So say you buy a stock right here, right at 208. This is Apple. You buy Apple at 208 and boom, it goes up to 213 and say you sell it. You just made money trading. So different types of markets. We got stocks. So this would be pieces of company like Apple, Tesla. We got options, contracts that give you the right to buy or sell stocks at specific prices. So that's, strike prices. Faster, riskier, but they are powerful. You can make a lot of money trading options. That is personally what I day trade. I day trade options. There's also crypto. There's Bitcoin, Ethereum, digital currencies that trade 24/7. There's also futures, which is advanced contracts on things like indexes, so QQQ, SPY, and commodities. Not for beginners, but you'll hear about them later in your trading journey. So let's break down trading styles. So there's scalping, which is fast in and out trades. I'm talking seconds to minutes that you're in that trade, and you scalp it. You make your money, so you get caught in a momentum move and you make your money very, very fast. That is what we would call a scalp. Now, day trading would be you would hold from a few minutes to a few hours, but you sell before the end of the day, before market close on the end of the day. And that's all that is. It's day trading because you're trading the day, right? So there's swing trading, which is you would take that overnight risk. And risk meaning, with stocks, everything is so unpredictable. Something could happen, crash the market, and that's just stuff you have to be aware about when you are trading. That news could happen or data could happen or whatever. That is what we classify as swinging with risk because there's always a risk. Long-term investing. So this would be buying and holding for years. You bought it back in 2013 and you're holding it all the way till 2025. That's your long-term investment. So this would be more of like the lines of like your 401k and stuff for retirement. That would be your long-term investment portfolio. How to actually make money in the market. It's stuff we touched on a little bit earlier, but the core idea of this is you buy low and you sell high. That is it. But catching the right move, that's the skill you have to work on and develop. The actual idea of trading is very simple and very easy, but the market's job is to make it look way, way, way harder than it is, right? So imagine you're on a soccer field, right? And there's two soccer teams, one team being the institutions and one other team being retail. You are your goalie and you are trying to make it so when institutions score a goal, that's them taking money from you because they're one-upping you, right? Your goal is to block that. And you want to take money from them scoring in their goal, right? So hopefully that analogy makes sense, but it's as simple as that. That's all trading really is. It's just battling against institutions and safeguarding your money. Why most people lose? So most people lose because they chase, they FOMO, they don't manage their risk. When you don't manage your risk, say you're going in with $1,000 when the position really should have only been $100, you are over leveraging, especially if you have a smaller portfolio. And that is something that you want to be aware of. But that is something that we will dive into in the next lesson of what is risk management. So that's the fast version of what trading is. I'll show you the number one skill you need to actually survive this game, risk management. On to the next lesson.